Afternoon all, and very warm welcome to the July Malcolm Monthly. As we sit here in July heading into August next week, we also then look at the end of the company's first 6 months of financial trading, which is the end of July. As I said earlier, it's certainly been a very challenging 6 months. The business activity is down, and by default, that's no doubt that has also affected the bottom line, along with other costs that have been incurred through the NI and other things. However, I remain cautiously optimistic with the glass always half full. We have seen some trends now starting to improve. OI Alloa, I'm glad to say the new furnaces are now back up and running, and the volumes out of there are steadily increasing on a day-to-day basis. So the good news is that's now moving in the right direction. We have some other business that logistics has lost in the last 9-12 months, which I'm delighted to see is coming back in a different route, where one of the suppliers for one of our customers has lost a significant chunk of business, but we're getting the business on the back of the new suppliers, so that's good. And the inquiries are strong. The main thing now that your management team are working on is to convert these inquiries more into secured business, and I'm cautiously optimistic that a lot of this work will come into play during 2026. I know only some of you saw my message that I put on Blink a few weeks ago about the loss of the container work at Chivas. Bitterly disappointed about that. Probably more on the timing and the lack of engagement discussions that we actually had on that. And I would say quite openly that there's not a thing Malcolm's personnel or could have done to have changed that situation. It was nothing to do with service, reliability, response time, or pricing. It was just a policy decision made by people out with the UK market. I think even our customer at Chivas really was taken back the timing of that. But let's say we conduct ourselves in a professional manner, and who knows, it may come back in not too distant future. So logistics wise, I think we're sitting okay. We'll see how we get through the next 6 months and we'll move forward from there. Within the construction division, again, it's it's a bit of a mixed story. Groundworks have now got some new work secured that we'll start to see coming through in the coming weeks. And let's say the weather's helped us over the last few weeks as well. On the non-civil side, I would say, with the exception of the Malcolm plant, who have had a struggle with some of the smaller items, mainly back because civils are quiet, but the tipper, the quarry, reprocessing, that whole side has certainly performed very well. And again, that's looking to continue over the coming weeks and hopefully through till the end of the year. Work away with that side. A few things I'd like to mention though, and I think probably more from me, and it was noticed on the back of that memo I put out on the back of the container loss, and something I'm taking up with the team just now is how we are properly driving and utilising the whole Blink mechanism of our tool engagement. I know it took quite some time to get it really active as a business tool, and it probably started off more as a social tool. I said, but it's important to me that we are really engaging on any news that you need to hear about quickly and expeditiously, but likewise the feedback back. So again, I welcome any form of constructive criticism of things we should be doing differently on it. Right? I think it's now time with the challenges ahead. I need to try and get more messaging to you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, rather than just waiting for this video. So I would welcome that to come back to us. I want to touch on cybersecurity. And for those of you who are on the network with Malcolm's, you'll see obviously the Arctic Wolf seminars that come through. I cannot emphasize strong enough the importance that you all take this 5-minute time. Cybersecurity is a massive issue across the world today. We are spending significant amounts of money to make sure we keep our business safe. It means we keep your colleagues safe and our customers safe. A lot of people say it's not if you get a cyber attack, it's more when. And we have to be on our guard. And I said just now that we have probably a handful every week of attempts to get into our system, but I'm pleased to say at this stage, in touch wood, right, our processes seem to work. So can I encourage each and everyone, please, please, please do the Arctic Wolf, right, test when it comes on. On further development within the business, we have got a new lady called Julie Skilling that started with us a few weeks ago. And Julie is bringing on to further help us develop the whole people aspect of what we do in the company. We've recognised we have looked to move a long way of further developing the strength of the people who work with Malcolm's. For many of you know me, I always say people come and join Malcolm, come up with Malcolm, not for Malcolm. You're part of our extended family, our extended team. However, one thing that's come out quite loud and clear from me and some of the management team over the last few months is we've not got the right process in place of how we properly develop both current and future employees, colleagues. So Julie's been brought on board with a lot of wealth of knowledge and experience. You will see more of around the depots and around the network. And she's working with all the key personnel in the organisation to ensure we put the best foot forward to make sure we help you do your job, and more importantly, how you develop within your job as well. As you've all seen round about the West Coast, we are holding a blood donation visit in here at Linwood, and there's only 69 spaces on this. And I think you saw that the video that Kerr put out, what Kerr and his wife Sarah went through with the delivery birth of wee grandson Jack. And I know that's not a single isolated case, because I talk to a lot of people, whether it be inside the business, outside the business, and I know talking to people who I know within the medical profession, blood is something they are obviously in short demand. We still don't have a great take-up for many different reasons. So if you have the time, right, and you have the wish, please get in contact. Talking to Louise and Kerr this morning, certain depots who may think, like South Street for example, we're happy to put a minibus on to bring them across so they're not exposed to driving back after giving blood. If that helps people within the area, please shout loud. There's only 69 places available, and I'll be disappointed if we have to cancel it because we can't fill it. I think it's all for a very, very good cause, and none of us know when we might need it. So I'd ask you to please do that. We held the first Heritage Open Day this week. I think it was quite well attended. Appreciate that. It was mainly for the likes of for family and friends of people who are holiday times. There's another one being held on the 29th of July and again on the 5th and 12th of August. So we're just trying to accommodate and allow something to do with the youngsters while they're off school. I'm not saying it will keep them out of mischief, but at least to give them a wee bit of distraction, a bit of hopefully ease time as well. But the Heritage Centre there, it's our centre, i.e. all of us, and I think it'll give a good day for you to see Malcolm's, where it's come from and where it is and where it's going. So I'd welcome you all to actually please make use of that from that side of it. And again, please likewise, feedback to Aaron and the team, what we got right, what could do better, because it's something we're very keen to do more of as a business, to work closer with and how we make these experience days. Also, to add one thing that Aaron and the team are looking at as well, for those of you who can get off during the course of the working week to come to Heritage Centre, we're going to put on a couple of Saturdays, open days as well. Now, all the trucks are going to Truck Fest next weekend, the 2nd and 3rd of August. So they're back with some dates before the end of August to put something on a Saturday. So hopefully that'll accommodate people who can't make it during the course of the week. Before we go on to champions, really for me, it's just to, again, repeat it again, we are in a very, very challenging economy. The market has got so much uncertainty. The world politics are quite frightening. Personally, I very rarely watch the news or read the news these days. I wouldn't know who to believe, who to understand, or who to trust, or what's around the corner. All I would say to you is that Walt and I have both very much got the focus of the health and wealth of Deutsche Malcolm in mind, and that includes all their employees. And we're looking into 2026 on a guise of stability to move forward. You'll see the investment is still going heavily in. We're putting a lot of investment into a lot of our own property, and we feel opportunities there to do it. And to say, listen, we appreciate all your support in that. So let's move on to the champions of July. And again, can I say, I think it's very encouraging, the level and of people who are put forward. I think more importantly, it's the things that we don't see or hear that some of our people do, beyond the call of the everyday job in our organisation. But for me, that really shows the true value of being a Malcolm person, being Malcolmised from that point of view. So let's start in Scotland and on the West. And I'd like to do this one here because John Dunlop, who is the warehouse supervisor and oversees the whole operation down at Caledonian Paper at Irvine. John's been with us for quite some time now, and I have to say, UPM and Caledonian have been a long-standing customer of WH Malcolm. We've been through a lot with them together, and I have to say, when I walk through the site and I walk through other customer sites as well, let's say that Caledonian is a credit to John and the whole team down there. He engages well with the customer on site. I think he motivates his team round about him. And again, helped us very much on our BRC standards, to get them to where they are today. So John, very well done, and thank you for all your support. While we're on the West, I'd like to call out a young apprentice mechanic, Caden Mackay. Now, Caden's only 18 years of age, so he's only starting his career with Malcolm's here in Linwood. One reason I wanted to call out Caden was at the end of the day, on his way home from work one night, an 18-year-old boy, he said he came across a gentleman having a heart attack. And he stopped and gave that gentleman his personal attention and stayed with them until the paramedics arrived. A lot of people just have passed on by. So Caden, very, very well done. And we'll have a small something for you for that. So thank you for that. So when we move east, we're heading for Newhouse, and Robert Mooney, who is the shunter at Newhouse. And Robert's just taken on the role as lead shunter in Newhouse on nights. I think sometimes people undervalue what a lot of the shunters do in a lot of our sites. The importance of that coordination, not just with the traffic office, the trailers, but also with the loaders as well. And I know that Robert's, we manage himself, he engages with drivers, where to drop, where to pick up, with the forklift drivers who are loading and tipping. He works exceptionally well and an all-round good guy to be with. So Robert, thank you for all that and well done. So as we move south, we're heading for Gattenby, and it's Chris Preston. Now Chris is a long-standing driver with Malcolm and Gattenby. However, he's one of these characters, I think the best way to describe him is, he loves a practical joke. I think he can take a practical joke. He's a good all-rounder. Certainly a Malcolm man through and through. And even at times when we're being short of personnel within the warehouse environment, he's come off his truck, gone to drive a forklift, and does it in the exact same professional manner that he always does. He's always at time for everybody. He's a very strong family man, and he likes to work hard, and I believe he likes to play hard as well. So Chris, many thanks and very well done. And last but by certainly not least, as we move into construction division. And it's great because this young lady I've known for a long, long time, she got a 25-year service award in January, is Donna Shorts, assistant buyer at South Street. Very efficient at what she does. She's very effective at what she does. I think it's fair to say, if I discuss for the whole construction team, you only have to ask once for something and Donna takes care of it. So Donna, congratulations, very well done, and thanks everybody. So I think to close, I had hoped to take you to Paisley Grammar School construction site this week, but due to holidays and everything else, it wasn't possible. So next month, I hope to be Paisley Grammar School. My nephew Donald Malcolm, who is running the civil division now, will be there as well for an introduction, and he will say a few of that. But in the back of that, for those who remain to have a holiday, have a good time, and I'll see you in August.